So now I'm gonna tell you about relationships between girlfriend and boyfriend, husband and wife, and what this relationship depends on, and what is the structure of them, and how to create them to be able to be best as you can, right? So just recently I realized that relationship is very crucial for every person, right? And that's for your health, physical health, mental health, just for your being, because that's how we created to be with somebody, right? And nobody wants to live alone, single. So that's probably one of the worst thing ever. So let me show you, at least I have this board and I can show you guys something. So let's go step by step. So I'm gonna show you 5 things which are important. It's like on my fingers. And number 1 is, again, I'm gonna show you from the least important to the most important, and I'm gonna show you like from the first steps you can do and to the end, right? So you can progress forward. So number 1, I think it's very important, is the food we eat, right? So it's not the most important, but it is important. So number one is gonna be food. And why is food important? Because I think the way how you eat, that's who you are. And I know I noticed in myself when I started to eat differently, when I started to eat, I started to become another person. So not just the person I've never been that person, but the person whom I always wanted to be. Let's put it this way. And I started to enjoy myself better because I was doing the stuff I was always thinking wanted to do. So food is number 1, right? So of course food is important to build a relationship or create a relationship, because if you don't eat properly, you are tired, fatigued, or maybe you have a mood swings, or you don't feel like to go somewhere, socializing and things like that. So food, it's one of the most important. So let's go next. The next one is gonna be physical exercise. So physical exercise, right? So physical exercise is important too, because you want to create the best body ever. I know right now, nowadays, lots of girls and guys are looking at the body. So how you look like, right? You don't want to be too fat, you don't want to be too skinny. So we have to work on this on an everyday basis. Unfortunately, it's, right now, if you will start to think that, oh, I'm just looking for somebody, or I have somebody who has a deep soul, or who is a nice person, a kind person, it doesn't work that way. It's bullshit. Everybody watching how you look like, how is your body look like, how you look like your face, right? And of course they are interested how are you inside, but this one is important too. So number three is gonna be your career, right? So your career is important too, because if you work 12 hours every day, you don't have time for all of this, right? Or if you have a stressful job, you don't have mental energy for all of this. So this one is really important. That's like important. So let's go to the next one. So number four is your relationships, but relationships with your environment. So I mentioned that before. So relationship with your environment is your family, first of all, right? The closest people to you, and then relationships at work, relationships in the neighborhood, relationship with the friends. So that's important, right? And the last one is gonna be spiritual life. So number 5, spiritual life. So the spiritual life, that's like the top, right? So if you feel all of these check marks, you can go here to the 5. But do not, we are here, right? So we're here. So I based on my experience, I always try to go before, like many years ago, I was going like this. all the way to the spiritual life. But to be able to create relationships, right, or to maintain a relationship, improve a relationship. But that doesn't work that way. We have to go step by step. So food, physical exercise, career, relationship environment, and spiritual life. So, and the last thing I would like to mention is that these things we have to balance. So that's really important. So we have 5, so 20% each of them, right? So it's not like you're working 12 hours and then you have 2 hours, maybe, I don't know, 1.5 hour you rest watching TV, and then half an hour maybe you cook a food. So it's not gonna work like this. We have to work really, really, really hard and every day. So I hope, guys, it helped you. Please write a comment if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you soon.